and welcome back to Pad Wives Unfiltered. I'm Kirsha.
And I'm Sophs, and each week we are here to talk about your military spouse life dilemmas, question of the week, and give you some unqualified and unfiltered advice.
So we do have some brilliant questions and confessions today in this episode.
We really do.
We
And if
really
you
do.
haven't already, go back and check out our previous ones so you can stay up to date and hit that subscribe button too. We have question of the week, Kirsha.
Yes, I will read this. And actually, it's a really good question, to be honest. Okay, so question of the week is...
I'm trying to think of a little jig for like, question of the week. No? Okay.
No. So, question. When there are no comms periods in a deployment, at which stage do you start losing your mind?
30 seconds after they leave. To be fair, actually, no. Total lie. Just lie to you all. Basically, for me, I smash it out of the park and boss it for like the first 2 weeks. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I don't know if anyone else does this, right? I don't know. This isn't just no comms. This is just me going off on a bit of a tangent.
Shock.
But any deployment or exercise, I'm like, I'm going to become a Victoria's Secret model while they're away. I'm going on a diet. I'm doing that. And then I'm like, I'm going to order a takeaway.
It's the text messages you send me. You're like, yeah, I'm going to level up. When he comes back, I'm going to have like a 6-pack and all of this. And then I get a text message and it's like, yeah, I had a Domino's.
Your girl hasn't had a 6-pack since she was 18. She's now 32. The ship has sailed. Move on. No, I think
I'm better with no comms.
you say this all the time, and I've seen a lot of you say that you're better with no comms because you haven't got the, I'm really missing them because they don't pop up all the time. It's like an ex when they randomly pop up and they're like, oh, I miss you, like 2 months after. Like, you can't move on. Not that you're moving on from your partner. I need to shut up. I've had a few too many coffees.
No, but like I am so much better when there is no comms because, like you say, I'm not wondering when
there's no
I'm
expectation.
Get a phone call.
You know you're not going to hear from them, so you're not there like, I don't want to miss a call. I don't want to do that.
That's exactly what I'd be like when I was at work at like one of the last places I worked. So he was wherever he was, and I remember sitting there and I put my phone in a specific. It sounds really freaking sad when I say it, but I put my phone in a specific place in work where I knew I would get signal just in case for the call. Whereas when I knew that I didn't have to have any comms at all, I was fine because I wasn't expecting anything.
I get that totally. And I think you can kind of get in your rhythm a bit more.
Yeah.
I do find though, and I remember towards the end when it's like 2 weeks or a week, and we have spoken about this before, how it can get harder towards the end.
Yeah.
But I'm more like, I think I cried because my lawnmower broke.
You also cried because your fridge broke at one point as well.
Yeah, but everything broke at the same time. That was not a fun time for Sophs.
No.
But
we third-personing ourselves now.
Third person. No, so, but like I remember calling you and being like, my lawn blower. My lawnmower broke and now I can't speak to Josh about it.
No.
But I hadn't spoken to him in like 4 months. So why was I upset when he was coming home that weekend? I think,
because it's an accumulation of feelings and everything, like emotions that have happened throughout the time that you've not been able to say anything, and then it's the anticipation of when they come back, because then you know that you can completely offload.
It's like that episode when we did the 10 questions a couple weeks back, and someone said, I'm coming towards the end of a 6-month deployment, why is it so much harder? It's the same for no comms. But you are right, you can move on a bit more. You can be like, right, I'm going to do this. Yeah. It's a great time to rearrange a military house because they can't say shit.
Yeah. I buy so much when he's away because I'm like, I can put this in there. I actually bought, when he was on one of his last deployments, I bought, did I say employments?
Yeah.
Deployments. I actually bought
employments.
I actually bought 2 new televisions.
Yeah.
A new sofa.
Okay. Why 2?
Because I wanted one in my bedroom.
Standard.
A new sofa, coffee table, armchair. He came back to a completely different house.
Who buys? Oh, we're sat in armchairs actually. I was like, who has armchairs anymore? As we're sat in an armchair.
Actually, my nan does.
Okay, listen to that sentence again, Kirsha. My nan does.
Armchair. I stand. There is nothing wrong with an armchair.
I'm not hating on armchairs if you have armchairs,
Yeah, you're gonna
by
get
the
come
way.
for now.
Yeah.
Armchair
oh
hater.
Oh my God. But did you say armchair eater?
Hater.
Okay. People do
I don't
that.
know, we might have to play that back. It might have been armchair eater.
People do that.
Yeah, they do. Lamps as well. We're on a tangent.
Right. No, but I had something to say and I've now forgotten, and it was actually about deployments and the no contact thing, and I can't remember. I know. So I said that it was all about, it's a really good time to rearrange your military house when you've got no contact because they can't say anything, right? And I actually did this in the week, didn't I?
Yeah.
Except we did have contact, and he did in fact tell me to not touch his stuff.
Oh, yes.
So he's got like a full gaming setup, and he said, don't touch my stuff, you'll break it. Me being me was like, I'm absolutely not going to break it. I need to move this around and it has to be done now. I did in fact break the £3,000 gaming setup.
That he built himself.
And I tried to hide it, and he turned it on and it went into like shutdown mode. And he came back and he was like, you moved my gaming setup. And I was like, no, I didn't. Like, I genuinely didn't. You told me not to. Full on lying through my teeth.
So how did it break? Like, what happened to it? Did it fall? Did you bash
Your gal's
it?
not a careful gal.
Well, I know that.
I tried and it didn't work. So yeah, that is the best time on deployment. If you break it, you have time to fix it. You know, I should have waited for a deployment and a no comms situation. I didn't. But yeah, that's a great way to keep busy when you're on no comms.
Yeah, it is. And I think, you know, with that question, when you said, or what you mentioned earlier with regards to why is it harder when they are closer to coming home, it is because of everything that you've bottled up, pent up,
and the anticipation.
Way, and then you know that it's getting to that point where you know you can offload.
Yeah.
And you can tell them absolutely everything.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And that's what it is.
And you're about to have some really good sex.
Well, that too.
Okay. Sorry, Daddy. I know you listen. This video is very kindly sponsored by Fourswear, which is a veteran-owned and operated business. They have such a range to choose from, and it's all 100% cotton and manufactured in the UK.
They are, honestly, the quality is amazing. And for example, this is for my husband who is in the RLC. We've got, in my defence, I was left unsupervised, which I don't tend to do.
Yeah, and Josh is in the Irish Guards. Cannot wait to give this to them. We have a confession that's been written in, and we've also got someone seeking advice. I'm going to do the confession.
Mm-hmm.
So the confession is from one of you guys. Thanks so much for sending this in. And if you do have anything that you're seeking advice on, a question of the week or a confession or something you want to get off your chest, please email in to hello@padwives.co.uk or send us a DM. So we have, I feel a bit stupid even saying this out loud, and maybe I am overthinking it, but it's been playing on my mind for days. They're sentences that you sent to me. You could have written that first part. I'm overthinking. We share locations. It's never been a control thing. It was actually his idea ages ago, just because it's easier if one of us is driving or trying to figure out timings. It's always just been practical. I will say I'm not a fan of sharing locations all the time. I get it from a safety aspect, but I just if I'm going somewhere, I'll literally just send my live location and keep it on all day.
Yeah.
But I do think that can create some, and it works for some people, but for me, I can't. I feel like it creates some toxicity.
I think it can create also a lot of insecurity as well.
Yeah, I'd be checking all the time, like, where is this guy at? Anyway, the other night, he said he was still on camp finishing something off. Completely normal. I didn't question it at all. I was just at home scrolling, and I randomly opened Find My app. I don't even know why. It wasn't like I had a gut feeling or anything dramatic like that, but his location wasn't on camp. Where were you?
Why are you lying?
It was about 25 minutes away in a completely different area, not even slightly near where he said he was. At first, I genuinely thought... people come for me when I say that because I get generally and genuinely
Yeah, I'd come for you for that.
At first, I genuinely thought it must be glitching because sometimes it does that. So I refreshed it, closed the app, opened it again, and it was still there. I just sat there staring at his little dot. Trying to convince myself there was a normal explanation. Maybe he popped somewhere quickly, maybe he forgot to say, or maybe the military changed the things that could happen. That happens a
Could have
lot.
nipped to the co-op, maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I didn't call him because I didn't want to sound paranoid. I didn't text because I didn't want to start something over nothing, so I just left it. He came home at the usual time, acted completely normal, started talking about his day like nothing was off, and now I feel like I'm a crazy one because maybe it really was nothing. But also, why didn't he say, oh, I had to go there? Because because I don't know about you, but me and Josh obviously talk about each other's days.
Yeah.
How's your day? And he'll be like, oh, we got sent here or I had to go there
Yeah.
or whatever. So, but at the same time, why say you're on camp if you're not? I did screenshot it, which makes me feel dramatic, but I think I needed proof for myself that I wasn't imagining it. It's been 3 days and I haven't said a word. I keep going back and forth between thinking I'm being insecure and thinking I'm being naive. Am I overreacting?
No, I don't think she's overreacting. I think, if this was his idea to have that app, then I don't see the problem with her just going, do you know what, babe? Just out of curiosity, you said you were here, but you were here. I'm just wondering, if what you were doing.
Yeah, and I also think the longer she doesn't say something, she's going to continue to work it up. And it very much could be the sense of they got sent somewhere to pick something up or something like that. However, I do think it is a bit weird that he did, but I don't know how much you guys talk and things like that. There's two sides of this. It could be absolutely nothing, but not as just females, as humans in general, it's very easy to be like, what's going on, like what's happened, and work yourself up to it. I would be totally the same, but there's only one solution to this, and that is confronting him and asking him.
You've got to talk, because like you say, otherwise it's going to sit there and it's going to be in your mind and you're going to stew on it and it's going to get worse. But this is also where it comes into the fact of having those sort of apps. It does create issues. I mean,
because if you didn't have it, this wouldn't be a thing.
Yeah,
but then also, if he is up to something, thank God you've got it.
Yes.
Not that he is.
No.
Not that he may be.
No, but it could be something completely innocent, and it's just the case that it's going to have to be a conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because, like you say, if you sit and stew on it, it's just going to get worse.
Yeah, absolutely. And let us know in the comments what advice you would give this listener, if you think they're overreacting or if you think they're well within their right, and how you think that they should approach the situation.
Yeah, because we do have another confession as well, which I will move on to. And this one looks quite good, to be honest. So she says, I'm not even sure if this is genius or just really petty, but at this point, I don't actually care. That's also a sentence that you could say as well. When we first got together, I used to do all his washing. I was that wife. I'd check the labels, separate everything properly, and make sure nothing ran, make sure nothing ran and hang it all up nicely.
Can I just ask a question to our audience? Who checks the labels before they wash? Because I don't. I just chuck it in and hope for the best.
I do sometimes, but that's if it's a really nice jumper.
Okay. Just curious.
Especially his uniform, because I was terrified of ruining something important and having it somehow be my fault. That's why I don't do the ironing. I don't touch.
Yeah, I don't do ironing. I haven't ironed in 6 years. I say that like I ironed before I didn't.
They're taught to do it in fucking basic. They can do it. It's fine.
They're also taught to fold everything up and keep it nicely, but my husband's wardrobe says otherwise, so.
I was terrified of ruining something important and having it somehow be my fault. Then we had kids. Now my entire life revolves around washing. There are constantly school uniforms, PE kits, baby clothes, towels that never seem to dry properly, random muddy joggers. I feel like I live in the utility room. But whenever he comes home from camp...
What military housing are you at to have a utility room, please? Let me know. Thank you.
That would be nice. But whenever he comes home from camp, his kit just sort of lands.
I'm about to sneeze, I'm sorry. I didn't want to.
Fucking Egypt.
Charge it to the game.
Oh. Finished?
Yeah.
But whenever he comes home from camp, his kit just sort of lands in the wash basket like it automatically becomes my responsibility again.
I'm really happy it lands in the wash basket though. Mine lands on top of
next
it.
to it. No conversation, it just appears. And I hit a point where I thought I actually cannot take one more thing. So one day I genuinely, accidentally, put a bit of bleach in with a load that had one of his older shirts in it. It came out slightly patchy.
Uniform.
Nothing ruined beyond repair, just not perfect. He did that trying not to be annoyed face and said, "It's all right, I'll sort my stuff next time."
This is the
Fucking
type
genius.
of petty stuff I love.
What a relief. After that, I stopped being overly careful. If a patch went on a slightly wonky, I didn't care. If something wasn't folded neat, I wasn't bothered. And slowly, without any big argument, he started doing his own washing.
I
That
think
is
you need a round of
genius.
applause, girl.
That is
That is
brilliant.
genius.
Now he separates it himself, irons it exactly how he wants it, and I don't have to carry the stress of yet another thing to think about. I do feel a tiny bit manipulative, but I also feel like I'm already doing the kids, the house, the food shop, and remembering everyone's appointments. So it's not outrageous for a grown man to wash his own trousers. Tell me I'm not the only one who stepped back from something and let them figure it out themselves.
This is not manipulative.
No.
This is boss bitch energy. Okay? Absolute queen.
But the thing is, they say that guys do it, don't they? That they do something really badly so that they don't have to do it again. She's just flipped the switch and just flipped it on them.
You know my £80 Blakely hoodie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got bleach on it because Josh washed it. Absolutely fuming. So I might take this on. To be fair, my husband is really good at doing the laundry.
Yeah,
it's about the
Reese's
only
as
thing that he
well.
does. But he does do the laundry.
Yeah.
I'm okay with putting the laundry in and folding it. I hate taking it out and hanging it up. So Josh will take it out, hang it up, and then I fold it and put it away.
Yeah.
But no, I think,
that's incredible.
could you have maybe asked him to do it? Yes. Is this a better option? Probably not, but I'm still going to say it is because it's absolutely genius. And I rate it.
I think it is a better option because there's been no conversation involved.
Yeah, and he hasn't realised.
No. I think
Yeah.
this was the better option. I think it's genius. I think that was cracking.
Yeah, exactly. And to be honest, it shouldn't just fall to you
No, it shouldn't.
at all.
It has to be shared at the end of the day, especially when everybody's got so much going on.
He could also just do what Kirsha's husband does and just chuck everything in the bin.
Yeah, he does do that. He does
Like
do that.
literally everything in the bin.
Yeah,
I chucked a knife and fork away the other day because I didn't want to wash it up.
Yeah, I go through cutlery so much. Like my mum will come into the house and she's like, "Where's it gone?" I'm like, "You tell me."
In the bin.
In the
Reese has
bin.
put it in the bin.
It's in the bin, so I buy more cutlery.
Get in the bin.
Yeah, yeah, literally.
Yeah, no. But let us know again in the comments what you think of this confession. I loved this confession.
I think it was genius. That was brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. But if you have any confessions or want advice or any topics and questions you would like to ask us on, please let us know via DM or again at hello@padwives.co.uk. And if you haven't checked out our previous episodes, make sure you go back and do so too.
Make sure you've subscribed down below to make sure that you're not missing any of our content.
And we'll see you in the next one.